LoreWarrior Online, AKU-1X, Akuma. Overview. During the Clan invasion, Theodore Kurita issued a general call to manufacturers to produce more cost-effective battle mechs, both in their initial investment and upkeep costs. Independence Weaponry, well known for their heavy and assault mechs, responded with a low-cost alternative to their own Atlas K, the AKU-1X, or Akuma. With a price tag comparable to the original Atlas Delta, the Akuma shares many components with the older design. By creating a broader demand for the same set of parts, Independence Weaponry then reduced the overall cost for both units. Capabilities. The primary cost-cutting measure employed in the Akuma's design was to make the Akuma smaller and lighter than the Atlas. The reduced weight and resulting smaller fusion engine represented a significant saving. In spite of its small size, however, the Akuma does maintain the same ground speed and comparable armor protection. In addition, the mech's head is adorned with a massive mask, giving it the same frightening appearance of the mythical demon for which it is named. The Akuma's fearsome appearance is intended to distract or startle an enemy long enough for the Combine Mech Warrior to get the first shot. The mech's armaments are an array of advanced weaponry that work most effectively at short and medium ranges. Though the mech is slow compared to others in its class, its intended use for defense or in slow advances against static or dug opponents keeps its low speed from being a design flaw. Central to the Akuma's arsenal is a Lord's Light 2 extended-range particle beam weapon and a large rack of medium-range missiles. 2 streak launchers provide a short-range backup to the MRMs, and as the streaks cannot fire without a lock-on, not a single shot of their expensive ammunition is wasted. Some observers consider the Imperator Code Red LB-10 autocannon an extravagance, but most experts point out that it provides needed long-range firepower. Arm-mounted lasers provide reliable backup weaponry in case the Akuma does run out of ammunition. Deployment. The Ryuken-Go have always been the chief proponents of the Akuma, fielding this design in several assault lances. Other frontline units were slow to adopt the Akuma until it proved itself during the assault on Clan Smoke Jaguar, and since then, demand has outstripped production. Recently, in the ill-fated attacks launched against the Combine by Duke Robinson, the Akuma 1XJ made its debut in the counter-assault that eventually took the Davian worlds of Breed and Kesai 4. Variants. The 1XJ has often been derided as the same, only more so, and this has some merit, in that long-range firepower is further weakened for incredible medium-range and point-blank assault capability. The ERPPC is changed out for a laser, and the streak launcher is removed. This allows upgrades of the medium-range missiles and the autocannon. More surprising, however, are the retrofitted jump jets, which give the Akuma expanded tactical options. It was this variant that created such chaos amongst Davian lines in 3064. So as it says, this is a slightly smaller mech, it's 90 tons. Its chassis is the Foundation AKU Endo steel. Its power plant is a standard GM270, with a cruise speed of 32 and a max speed of 54 kph. Obviously the primary version has no jump jet, but as we know the other variant does, but its armour is Duralex Special Heavy. It's equipped with a single Lord's Light 2 extended range particle beam weapon, 1 Victory 23R medium laser, 1 Victory Heartbeat medium pulse laser, 1 Shigunga medium-range missile 30 rack, and 1 Guided Technologies 2nd generation Streak SRM-4, and 1 Guided Technologies 2nd generation Streak SRM-6, and finally 1 Imperator Code Red LB-10 autocannon. Manufactured by Independence Weaponry on Quentin, its communication system is the Cypher Security Plus, and its targeting and tracking is the tried and true Matabushi Sentinel. So basically just the grinning spectre of death, upgrade of an Atlas, essentially. I unfortunately think the artwork in the book, compared to later pieces, do make the Akuma look like it's just kind of out for a jolly little stroll, which kind of takes away from some of the intended, I think, sort of shock of the appearance of the machine. It's a machine that has 3 and 5 walk and run with 13 double heat sinks. It has 9 armor on the head, 43 on the CT with 15 on the rear, 28 on both of the side torsos with 10 on the rear, 30 on the arms and 38 on the legs, so thick and chunky, just how some people like them. Its ERPPC is in the left arm, and it also has a medium pulse and a Streak SRM-4 in the left arm. Finally, the ammunition for that Streak is also located in the left arm, 25 shots. It has a medium laser in the right arm, and the MRM-30 in the left torso, with its ammunition there of 16 shots in the same location. Finally, the LB-10 is located in the right torso, with its ammunition, 20 shots in total, located there as well. And the center torso has the Streak 6, with the 15 rounds of ammunition for that launcher in the right torso as well. So quite a spread, and basically if you can penetrate the side of the mech, you're probably going to hit ammunition on the right side, and if you just open up the arm, you've got a good chance of blowing up the Streak 4. So is it a bit of a walking ammo pit? Yeah, a little bit, but it's quite thick, and obviously this isn't a machine that's going to be wandering around in open fields as much, deployed obviously mainly in more, as it says, defensive scenarios where it'll be able to take advantage of buildings for cover, or in slower assaults where it's going to be moving through facilities, factoriums, that kind of thing, as it's making its way through and blasting shit as it goes along. The artwork isn't terrible, it just probably could have been a better pose. As I said, it just kind of looks like it's just having a nice little stroll through the countryside here. Just like, oh, I'm an Akuma. It's not that imposing. And yeah, I could definitely see using this though as like a big bad, like a terrifying thing. But it's also got the drawbacks of the fact that ranged encounters are not its forte. That's for sure. But yeah, overall it's not bad. As I said, I'm pretty sure there's been a lot of later artwork of this machine, because it does become kind of emblematic of Kurita's later BattleMech designs as one of the kind of key assault units that you see in that kind of 3060s era onward. And I know there is some much cooler looking images of the Akuma, which I should have in this video at the time, by the time it's up on the channel. But yeah, it's just a shame that the original artwork just really doesn't carry that kind of oh shit kind of intent that it's supposed to have. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of those machines that I would personally be happy to sort of deploy as a kind of let's say end of scenario type boss type thing for the enemy to come across. Would it be an interesting unit to do for a scenario where you are acting as bodyguards to a commander on the field, possibly in a scenario where there's been a rout, for instance, and your forces are basically making a slow fighting retreat, and you're basically trying to protect this officer. So even in a case where the players might be scumbag mercenaries, they may be the only thing that this guy can rely on, and even for the Combine, if if it means he's going to survive, he's going to have to work with mercs to get the job done, kind of thing. So players might be sort of requisitioned on the field to protect this character, to get them to safety, for instance. And although he's relatively capable in and of himself, obviously you don't want him to get destroyed, so it creates a dynamic of he can only move so far across the field in a turn, 3 and 5, so not a huge distance, and there's pursuers coming in. They're dialing in on his location, so there's mounting pressure. He could even throw in a bit of sort of the role-playing element of having him just kind of every time the enemy's here, he turns around to stand and face them, kind of thing, with players going you have to get out of here. It's like you've got to lead your men. You can't just be cut off over here, that kind of thing. You could sprinkle in a few of his badly damaged lance mates who may be, hanging back to sacrifice themselves to slow down the enemy. So you've got other allies, but they're slowly getting picked off, kind of thing. So the players are getting more and more kind of fuck, we've got to get this guy out of here. And you just have him acting like the complete pig-headed type of I will not retreat kind of thing. So I will stay here, and if I must die a warrior's death, I was no, you get off the field. So it comes down to those situations okay, if we can just get rid of these targets, he might get off the field, kind of thing. So that would be fun. Anyway, I'm just sort of spiraling out, coming up with different ideas. But yeah, I don't dislike it. Build's good, nice and tanky. Good short-range combatant, obviously completely outpaced at range, but that's not surprising. It's not its intent for combat, so that's the Akuma. Anyway, we're getting to the end of the Inner Sphere assaults, so we'll be getting over to the Clanners pretty soon. But till then, have a good one. Thanks for listening as always, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.